Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Thursday, August 28th, 2025. Now, worlds collide. First, on the Diddy front, people have been asking, there's so many civil cases, but one of them has been dismissed, and we'll have more on that later today. But Diddy's lawyer, that's going to be the theme of this morning's vlog. Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo. It was quite something to have the charges knocked off that were knocked off. He's been hired, as we reported earlier this week, by Orrin Alexander, one of the three real estate bros, and he's already started his advocacy. There's a siren, but I must proceed. He's already started his advocacy yesterday, informing the court that they intend to challenge the government's, the prosecution's expert witness about sexual trauma, using a lot of words like purportedly and allegedly. So it's heating up. I think he thinks he's going to be able to do the same thing for the Alexanders that he did for Sean Combs. But here's how worlds collide. Yesterday morning, after the vlog, we went in to Manhattan Criminal Court, State Supreme Criminal, 100 Center Street, to cover the case of Mewish Omer and Stephanie Gonzalez. These were two women, 25 and 26, who were accused, have been, are being charged for roughing up a 41-year-old woman, described in the newspapers as a Jewish woman. What happened is, apparently, they were tearing down flyers about October 7th hostages, and the woman, Upper West Side resident, asked them to stop, said this is serious, started filming them. Now, according to tabloid coverage, they then yelled out, this is all AI, free Palestine, and F Israel, F your white privilege. And they tore off her Star of David necklace, took her phone, various things. This is all, of course, it's, innocent until proven guilty. However, so we went and covered it yesterday, and there's been an offer. Alvin Bragg's office has made an offer to the two that involves a bias workshop, and if no arrest for the next year, time served, jail time, maybe the whole case goes away. But they didn't accept it, and a trial date was set for October. If there's a trial, I'll definitely cover it. What I didn't realize until later in the day, through the wonders of web crims, is that Stephanie Gonzalez is represented by none other than Mark Agnifilo. I'm assuming it's pro bono, because he charges the Alexanders and Diddy a pretty penny. So it's quite a pro bono case. That's all I can say about it. These are the buildings here. There's 100 Center Street. SDNY is right over there. Mark C. Agnifilo. And by the way, his wife, Karen Friedman Agnifilo, represents Luigi Mangione in both federal and state court. And yesterday, the U.S. government responded to her motion for more information about the reason they're trying for the death penalty. And they said, you have enough. And one of the things they said is that one of the photographs of the shooting, which was very early in the morning, I think some people have tried to say, he did his absolute best, that there would be only one victim, he could have done it a different way. That they say in one of the photographs, there's a woman standing only feet away from the shooting. So this is an aggravating factor. In any event, we're covering that. I'm going to speed up, but the Agnifilo thing, to me, is just, it's incredible. It's incredible. So here we go. Lamar Whitehead, the Bling Bishop, he's in jail, but he's hired a lawyer who yesterday filed a notice of appearance, and then very quickly a sort of, is it omnibus or blunderbuss? I don't know. He's filed a motion saying that because the case was dropped against Eric Adams, there should be a recusal of the AUSA, and he should get out of jail. He wants bond. Lamar wants out. So there's that. Mark Scott on the crypto front. Mark Scott, who was convicted 6 years ago of money laundering for OneCoin's crypto fraud, asked for bail pending applying for certiorari from the Supreme Court. That was denied yesterday. And finally, on the UN front, one thing we don't talk about enough is we don't just report on UN headquarters. We now have sources throughout the UN system, and in fact, the sort of global system everywhere. We wrote a story this morning about UNIDO, which is the U.S. dropped out of it long ago, and I think even under Biden they didn't rejoin it, I don't think. But it's full of corruption. A fish rots from the head. It all goes back to Guterres. But we wrote a story about UNESCO. We wrote about the Mexican candidate dropping out to replace Azule. This is a lot. Other countries are very happy about this Mexican dropout. We were the first to report it. We report on ITU. So basically, we report more on the UN system than almost any publication in the world, and yet Antonio Guterres, for his own corrupt reasons, has Inner City Press banned even from covering the upcoming General Assembly, where hundreds, if not thousands, of state media, blood-splattered propagandists from various countries will be in New York living it up and writing propaganda from inside the UN. Well, we want to be we want to be in. We won't be writing propaganda. We applied June 19th. We're waiting for. There's been no response. The deadline to apply is Friday, but we already applied. This is a litmus test. In any event, we're going in. To be continued.